Today we spent a good part of the morning cutting up logs. We just went through the felled trees from earlier this week. We've cut down a good number of trees and they were all laying here. So what we did this morning is we came through and we used the log jack or the log stand, whatever that thing's called, to roll the logs up off the ground a little bit, chop them into 16 to 18 inch, chunks like these, so that we can then rent a log splitter and go ahead and start splitting these and stacking them for the year. We plan to have a wood stove at some point in the house that we build. So anything that's hardwood, which, there's a bunch of maple up there that's chopped up. That's some rotten maple, but still some maple there. We're gonna stack as well, chop them. But we're trying to keep the hardwoods and the softwoods separated so that, when we go ahead and boil syrup in the spring, when we boil the maple sap, we're not using hardwoods for that. We want to use softwoods for that because it's outside, and we don't care if it's softwood and it burns hot and fast. That's perfectly fine. But we do want to save the hardwoods so that we don't have to buy wood, the first year or two that we live in the house, because that would be great if we can make use of the wood that we already have. What's here is mostly all softwoods. This is all, pine that's been chopped down. What I'm doing right now is just loading the tractor up. So fill the tractor bucket, drag it up there or drive it up there and dump it into a pile. We're gonna centralize all of this wood so that when we rent a log splitter, it's easier, if everything's in one spot. We contemplated buying a splitter. The problem with that is that right now log splitters are about $1,600 to $2,000, and to rent one is $70 a day. We can probably get the vast majority of the wood that we need to take care of, at least this summer, split in a day or two. So if you figure, even if we went to 3 days and we went to $210, that's still a whole lot better than spending, $2,000 on a tool that we don't necessarily need right off the bat. I'm not saying that we won't get one at some point. Just right now, I don't think we need one. We do have some more trees that we still need to process up there, but doing this is definitely hard on the back, and I gotta say, I'm not used to it, so I needed to take a little break here. I'm just stopping and loading these logs up into the tractor and dumping them, let the tractor do some hard work for a little bit. They are heavy to load into the tractor, but not that bad. And then, I do get to sit down and drive it over there and dump it. So that works. I don't think you can see it, but the wife is up there. You might be able to make out her feet. She's hanging out in the hammock. She was down here helping me for a good amount of time at cutting these up. So, much earned rest for both of us. I will say that today is an absolutely terrific day for this. It's like 65 degrees in July, which is great. No humidity. It's beautiful outside. The sun is pretty warm, but we've got some shady areas to work in. As you can see, I'm kind of working in the shade here. This is basically where we have been focusing our work today, is in the shady area, because it's nice in the shade. It's nice and cool, and it's not too bad. We do want to take down those couple of trees in that bunch over there, but I think that with the sun, beating on that right now, those will probably wait for another day. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to load these all up. I got a lot of softwood to put in a pile out there, and then I'll get to the hardwood that is up here. I'll get those put in a pile, and then once the piles are complete, I'll kind of show you what we've accomplished in just a couple days of, cutting these trees down and chopping them up. So we've been doing that. We probably got about 8 or 10 bucket loads already. And we've dumped all the wood on the right. So right there, that's all softwood, and all the wood that we got over there. There's 2 piles so far, or 2 bucket loads of hardwoods. We've got a bunch more hardwoods to go, but we're just gonna keep working on it. And here's the wife taking more hardwoods over. This is a couple of maples that we chopped down. We've kind of piled up over here. And then we just load the bucket. So she drives it over, I load up the bucket, she drives it back and dumps it. And we just do that over and over again. She's got it right now, like I said, full of maple. The two piles there, of course, like I mentioned earlier, the left side one is the hardwood, so maple being a hardwood will go on the left side. She'll bring the tractor over there and she'll dump the bucket. Sorry if I sound like I'm out of breath, but I am. I've been chucking logs. So this pile here and what was in the bucket was all around and had to pile it up. So just kind of throw it in a pile and bring it back over here so that it's easy to load into the tractor. But she'll come back, bring the bucket up to the pretty close to this pile here, and that way we can just load it up and she can keep taking loads back and forth. Save our backs a little bit. Still pretty hard work. Well, you know, no getting around that, but definitely not as bad as lugging all the wood ourselves. We moved around a bunch of logs. We've got this pile here of hardwood that needs to be split. That's mostly maple and some beech. As you can see from some of them, like that one right there, there is a little bit of a rotted wood here and there, but shouldn't be a problem. We should still be able to cut it up and use it for firewood. And then we got a much larger pile of softwoods here. This is all, you know, pine, and this is what we'll use to boil in the spring to make syrup. You can get an idea of the size of these piles by looking. That's a, you know, a good sized boxer. You know, two pretty big piles of wood here. Probably 10 or 12 tractor loads, you know, of bucket loads dropped off. So we're pretty happy with today's activities. We got a good amount of wood moved, all that chopped up, brought over here. Now it's ready to be processed and split. In addition to that, we still have a good amount over here. So this is all softwood that we had piled up last week, and that's all hardwoods that we had piled up last week. So we do have a lot that we still have to process. All of this needs to be split. From what I've seen on the internet, you know, and read in books, even logs, smaller size ones like this that are, you know, probably what, maybe 4 inches across, 3.5 inches across, they should be split just so that they dry faster and dry better. You can notice there are some larger ones in there, but what we want to do is get all of those split. So we do need to get a splitter. Same thing with all of that hardwood. There's a lot of hardwood there. We've been stacking the hardwood ever since we you know, got here and started cutting trees down. So I mean, that's not a full face cord, but it's getting close to a face cord of wood. I would think that with the addition of that, we'll probably have a face cord and a half maybe. And then once again, you know, the softwoods will have plenty, but all that's just going to be to burn in the outdoor stove to boil or to have campfires. So for today, I think that's going to be it. We kind of running out of steam here. It's hot in the sun. I think I got a little bit of a sunburn. We're going to call it a day and check back in later. Well, thank you for watching. As I've said in the past, if you enjoy these videos and you would like to follow along with what we're doing, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell. That'll give you notifications when we upload new videos. We do hope to upload at least one video a week showing the progress of where we're at. So thanks again. Have a good one.